Welcome back to Grammar Grade 9. This is Unit 11, Lesson 71, and today we're taking on one of the most useful and most misused marks in punctuation, the colon. Those two stacked dots do one big job and a handful of small ones, and once you know the single rule behind them, you'll place a colon with total confidence. Let's dig in. A colon is a small mark with a big specific announcement. Its most common job is to introduce a list, but only after you have set that list up. Here's a clean example. She studied these subjects: art, biology, and law. See how the sentence promises a list and the colon delivers it? The colon is usually a signal word: these, the following, or as follows. When you spot one of those, a list is on its way, and a colon is the natural way to bring it in. Think of the colon as saying, right out loud, "Here comes the list I just mentioned." The single rule to remember is this: the words in front of the colon must be able to stand on their own as a complete sentence. Watch. Bring the following items. That's a complete thought, an order you could end right there. Because it can stand alone, we're allowed to drop in the colon and then list what we mean: a tent, a map, and water. Notice the note. Bring the following items works by itself, so the colon is perfectly legal. Flip it around and the rule still holds. If there's no complete sentence in front, there's no colon. Now, the trap that catches almost everyone. A colon cannot sit right after a verb. Watch the wrong version. The finalists were, colon, Anna, Leo, and Priya. It feels tempting, but that colon is breaking the verb away from the words it needs. The verb were is reaching for its list directly, so nothing should stand between them. Here's the fix. The finalists were Anna, Leo, and Priya. No colon at all. Remember, a verb links straight to its list, with nothing in the way. The same trap springs up after a preposition, a little linking word like with, of, for, or about. Look at the wrong version. A salad with, colon, kale, apples, and walnuts. The word with is a preposition, and it grabs its objects directly. It cannot hand off to a colon. So we simply remove it. A salad with kale, apples, and walnuts. Here's a handy test. If you cannot comfortably stop and take a breath before the colon, you don't want one there at all. A colon has one more formal duty. It can introduce a long or formal quotation. When you lead into a quote with a complete sentence, something weighty or official, a colon sets the stage better than a comma. For instance, the mayor opened with a promise, colon, and then the quotation follows. We will rebuild every road, bridge, and park in this city. Notice that the words before the colon form a full sentence, which is exactly why the colon is allowed. A formal lead-in earns a colon, and then the quotation begins. Beyond lists and quotations, the colon does a handful of small, everyday jobs. It sits between the hour and the minute when we write the time, like 9:30 in the morning. It follows the greeting in a business letter, Dear Ms. Vance, colon, a little more formal than the comma you'd use to a friend. It separates the two numbers in a ratio, like 3:2. And you'll see it between a title and its subtitle, or a chapter and a verse. Small jobs, but the colon handles them all. Let's turn all of that into a quick check you can run every time you reach for a colon. First, is there a complete sentence sitting in front of it? If not, stop. No colon. Second, did I actually announce a list, often with a signal word like these or the following? Third, and this is the trap catcher, Am I standing right after a verb or a preposition? If I am, the colon has to go. Run those three, and the colon will only show up where it truly belongs. Complete thought first, then the colon. Let's practice. For each sentence, decide whether a colon belongs in the blank or whether it should stay empty. Pause the video and choose before I reveal each answer. My grandmother speaks 3 languages: blank, Tagalog, Spanish, and English. Ask the key question. Are the words before the blank a complete sentence? My grandmother speaks 3 languages. Yes, that can stand on its own, and it's clearly setting up a list. So a colon belongs here. The answer is colon. The recipe calls for blank, flour, sugar, and fresh eggs. Look at the word right before the blank. For. That's a preposition, and a preposition grabs its objects directly. No colon allowed. The list should follow for with nothing in between. So the answer is no colon. Please bring the following items: blank, a pencil, an eraser, and paper. The words in front form a complete command, and there's even the signal word following, promising a list. That's the perfect setup for a colon. The answer is colon. One more set, a little different. I'll show you a sentence that either has a colon or is missing one, and you decide whether it's used correctly. Pause and judge each one before I answer. Among the tools were colon, a hammer, a wrench, and pliers. Check the word before the colon. Were. That's a verb, and a colon can't sit right after a verb. This sentence should have no colon at all, so it's incorrect. Remember these dates: colon, June 3rd, July 9th, and August 21st. The words before the colon, remember these dates, form a complete sentence, and these is a signal word promising a list. Everything checks out, so this one is correct. The train departs at 8:15 every weekday morning. Here, the colon is doing its time of day job, sitting neatly between the hour and the minute in 8:15. That's exactly what it's for, so this one is correct. Let's gather it all up. First, use a colon to introduce a list you've announced, especially when you see a signal word like these, the following, or as follows. Second, and most important, the words in front of a colon must be able to stand alone as a complete sentence, so you never drop one right after a verb or a preposition. And third, a colon also introduces a long or formal quotation, and it handles the small jobs, the time of day, a business letter greeting, a ratio, and the space between a title and its subtitle. Get the complete sentence test right, and the colon will always land where it should. I'll see you in the next lesson.